Welcome, my tarot maniacs. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years, and this is your Astro Report for the week. I didn't get to it on Mixtape Monday because I just had too many subjects to cover. I didn't want to have you sitting there for an hour. So we're going to talk about the new moon. We're going to talk about how it's going to affect all you guys and what you can do about it. We'll be right back. I got to change that intro so it says Astro Fam too. So, welcome to the week of July 13th, everybody. We have a new moon coming, and you are going to get this video unless you're a member. If you're a member, you get to see it in real time. But the rest of you, the video is going to drop on the 14th. So let's get to it. This week, the theme is going to be plant the seed, don't force it to flower. So this week's new moon is not asking you to become someone new. It's actually asking you to come home to who you have been all along. And this is wild because this is something that has been coming up in my astrological chart overall, not just an effect from the moon. So this particular astro forecast is really hitting home for me. The new moon will reach its peak on Tuesday, July 14th in the sign of Cancer. Where are my Cancer people at? It's beginning a fresh new lunar cycle that's centered on emotional security, your family, your home, healing, and belonging. I talk a lot about the tribe that we belong to. This is about really digging in and declaring, you are my tribe. I am going to take care of you. And we are going to do things together in step, in harmony. We're going to do that. So very, very good. This year's Cancer new moon is especially interesting because when it arrives, Mercury is still retrograde. And so it creates a review before renewal energy rather than a rush towards something brand new. Those of you that have been following my study of astrology for 2026, I talk about the moons coming in and going out and some of the astrological efforts, like the tide is pulling out. So we're like shoved up onto the beach and then pulled out. So this energy, we are getting that pull and push. So I just want you guys to be a little bit more conscious. Don't let your emotions lead the moment, guys. Make sure that you keep a little bit of logic in there. So the new moon means focuses on home, family, emotional safety. Those of you that may be in circumstances or relationships that don't make you feel emotionally safe, you may feel a little bit extra jangled up. Just try and pad yourself as much as possible emotionally. Intuition is going to be riding high this week, as will childhood memories. You may have some spontaneous recall of some childhood memories, both pleasant and unpleasant. Try and lean toward the more pleasant side. Self-care is highlighted, protection, physically protection, psychically, emotionally, those kinds of things. Make sure you do that. And above all, make sure that you nurture yourself and replenish. Normally, new moons are about fresh starts, wiping that slate clean and kind of starting all over. This one says heal your roots before you start to grow some new branches, or some of you like to prune those branches. So make sure that you check your foundations. Now, because Mercury is retrograde, old conversations, family dynamics that may be complicated, relationship dynamics that are complicated, forgotten dreams, unfinished business may return for one more look before life starts moving again in about a month. Okay. So keep in mind that the universe doesn't always open a new door. Sometimes it asks us to repair the foundation and sometimes the lock. So we got to do that. Who is going to feel this new moon the strongest? Well, the ones that are most supported are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, are water signs. We naturally understand Cancer's emotional language and we kind of roll with it sometimes. I mean, there's tears and cheers and greers and whatnot, but we do try and roll with it as much as possible because it is a more natural feeling for us in terms of an energetic feeling. We do have some big growth opportunities for Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. You guys may feel emotionally stretched to the limit. You may be really thin, but this is where the biggest breakthroughs happen. So when you feel stretched really thin, see what you can develop under that. We're going to go through all the signs, so just sit tight. Those of you that should really keep your cool, Gemini and Virgo. One of my best friends is a Gemini. I'm looking right at you. You know who you are. Mercury retrograde can make your communication so messy it sounds like you're speaking another language. You need one of those babble fish from the Hitchhiker's Guide in your ear. Double check your texts when you receive them and before you respond to them. Double check. Triple check. If you can have a friend kind of lifeguard your texts and posts, that is probably a good idea. Double check your travel as well. You may have read things incorrectly. So you may say, I'm leaving out of gate A, and you're really leaving out of gate E. Also, double check your assumptions about people. And this one's a little less concrete. Sometimes we make an assumption about a person that we just meet or someone that we're working with for some time that we don't know super, super intimately. Double check those assumptions and don't just go, well, Bob is lazy and he's probably sleeping in today. Bob may have had a heart attack and may not be able to get out of his bed. So check your assumptions before you start writing off punishments and declarations about individuals. So super, super important. So it's Gemini and Virgo, keep your cool. Or as the caterpillar said in Alice in Wonderland, keep your temper. So what are some things that we can do for the new moon? A lot of people like to do full moon rituals. The new moon is actually a really powerful one because this is where we launch pad. So you could do something like write 10 intentions. 10 tensions. 10 tensions. We're going to copyright that. Instead of saying, I want, I am becoming, I have, those kinds of things. So not I want a Mercedes, I have a Mercedes. And then close your eyes and think about it. I am becoming a Mercedes owner is also a good one. I like the gerund version of the verb, the ing form is what I'm trying to say. So you could say things like, I'm becoming financially secure. I'm becoming emotionally peaceful. I am becoming surrounded by healthy relationships. I am becoming the best wife, the best girlfriend, the best boyfriend, the best kitty cat that I have ever been. So those are good things to do. Also, cleaning one space. Now, Cancers rule the home. They're the home builders of the zodiac. We like our home. We like everything where we put it. We want it to be neat, orderly. We want it to be guest ready. We want it to be happy, and we want our family to make all of their best memories there. So choose one space that you can complete in 15 minutes or so. I follow a lady called flylady.net. And she breaks down your household into different things. Anybody can go there and go see it. You can see the different zones that she breaks your house into. And every week she has you focus on a different place. She tells people, start with the kitchen sink, shine your sink. Make sure your sink is clean and shiny every day at all times in your kitchen. And then that kind of orderliness will spread from there. So choose your sink. Choose a drawer, a desk, your altar, your bedroom, something. Removing clutter is making room for new blessings. Getting rid of things will bring better things into your life. It is a good way to kind of roll through things. I always say, when we lose something, whether that's through a tragedy or by our own actions, something else will come and fill up that space. So you can bless someone with your other things. And Fly Lady talks about that when we are giving away clothing or household things that no longer serve us. We bless someone else with them. And we do that regularly at one of our church thrift shops here. Water rituals are another thing that you can do. And a lot of people do these at the full moon. But remember, the new moon is seeing everything completed, washed away, and we're refilling our cup on the new moon. We're gearing up, we're gassing up. So take a bath, shower, meditation, sit beside a lake, go float in your pool, listen to the rain, whatever it is. Visualize your old emotions washing away and new ones filling in that are better suited for success and progress. Gratitude letters are always a good thing to do. Every day you should express some level of gratitude for just waking up in the morning. It's an easy thing. As soon as your eyes wake up, I am so grateful that I am still alive. Write a letter that you'll never send. You can either forgive, thank, release, do whatever you want. You can burn it. You can tuck it away. You can throw it in the ocean, whatever you want to do. Paper is biodegradable. So write the letter that you will never send. Say all the things that you want, the gratitude, the richness of life. So if someone treated you poorly in a relationship and they are no longer with you, give them gratitude for giving you strength, for giving you a backbone, for showing you the things that you don't want. Flip it around. That's transmuting energy. Feed your future self is another thing that you can do. You can cook something. We love homemade foods, Cancer. So this ritual is not fancy, but when you are cooking, I want you to invest some energy into the food. So as you're stirring clockwise, you can be adding love and excitement and satisfaction into the food. And if you want to reduce things, you can go in reverse Wittershams. That's how they say it in witchcraft. I just infuse your food, give it some gratitude. I'm grateful for the food that's here. I'm grateful for what it's doing, and I'm grateful for what it's putting into my body. And then you can put that little extra energy in there as well. So the new moon isn't magic because of the moon. It is magic for this new moon because we are finally choosing ourselves, and we are finally going to recognize the youest you at the center of the ooey gooey part of your body. So let's get on to those signs. I know you guys love this sign. So Aries, for this week, your strengths are home improvements, family healing, and creating stronger roots for yourself. So if you are a young adult, my Aries is a young adult, really digging down into those past classes that she has taken and finding the value in her future classes as she's finishing up her college undergrad. Will serve her really well. So those of you that are Aries, make sure that you're really recognizing those roots. Remember what I said before, you have to have strong roots before we start looking at the branches and pruning them. So we want to make sure that our roots are really strong. Weaknesses for Aries this week, impatience, but that is a normal condition for our Aries. They are very, very impatient. So don't try and solve everything today. You can always break it down into 3 steps. 3 is the magic number, 3 steps. A surprise that is coming for you, Aries, a family conversation could potentially change everything in your world. So pay attention. Don't react. Don't try and solve it all in one day, and just sit tight. So Aries, that is you for this week. Taurus, you with this crazy new moon in Cancer, your strengths are networking, learning, writing, teaching. These are all really positive things that come out of Cancers. We are social little critters. But Taurus, you guys are going to be borrowing that energy. Learning, writing, and teaching can also be part of a learning process overall. So make sure that you do take the time to be a little bit more academic. Taurus, I know that you guys, you're really stuck in your beliefs and you like to just kind of stick with it. Be open to a little bit more. Be open to a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of sensuality. We're going to Cancers are going to lend you that. Okay. Taurus says your weaknesses are overthinking texts and conversations. Again, we've got that Mercury retrograde that is affecting everyone's communication. So make sure that you don't sit there and think too much about things that have been said and things that have been texted over to you or emailed over to you. The added component of a digital or electronic means for messages is going to exacerbate that Mercury retrograde. So a surprise, someone is going to reach back into your life. We talked about this with Mercury retrograde. We can potentially get some people that come back in to finish old business. This doesn't mean that somebody's coming back into your life so that you can run off into the sunset together. This may be finishing up some new business. So pay attention and underwrite carefully the relationships that you are bringing back in permanently. So I got some Geminis. Drop it in the comments if you're watching. Gemini, your strengths are money opportunities, business ideas, and pricing yourself higher. Math is your friend this week, but not for impulse spending, because that is where your weakness is. So your strength is really to invest and build that money, and to, if you have a business idea, to invest in that idea, to find a price point that works for you, the economy, scaling inflation, and also still serves your client or your presumed client or your customer avatar very, very well. So I want you to be focused on money, but I want you to be focused on feeding the pig and doing sound things with your money. The weaknesses, again, that's your impulse spending. So don't go revamping your wardrobe or anything crazy like that. The surprise is that you're going to get some unexpected income streams, and that is going to kind of urge you toward that impulse spending. So just be careful with that, because the unexpected income stream could be a result of Mercury retrograde. It's not a sustainable stream. It's going to drip in some money and create this illusion that you can splurge a bit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Where are my Cancers at? This is our new moon, and it is our reset. So ride the energy on this. That's why I'm doing this video today, because I want to make sure that I'm riding the energy tomorrow. We're going to do a live tomorrow as well on Tuesday. So you guys will see the live, and we'll talk a little, maybe we'll even do some moonology for tomorrow. Our strength is confidence, Cancers. Our confidence is huge right now. You can feel it in your bones, even if you are a little bit shy. Fresh beginnings always kind of kick us off really well, because we go, oh, look at this lovely cottage. I can dust it. I can clean it. I can hang up some curtains, and I can rearrange the furniture. And it's going to be fantastic. We love new beginnings because they do lead us into personal growth. If we start out with an empty room, it is personal growth as we decorate it, as we add to it. So all of those things, we are going to be feeling the feels. Take that energy and put it into whatever you want. Weaknesses for us right now is that we are taking everyone's emotions personally. Cancers, we are the emotional basket cases of the zodiac. And right now, with Mercury retrograde and this new moon, everybody else is going to be feeling it. So just be mindful that some people may be acting a lot more emotionally than we're used to, and that we can't take it personally. We can't think that it's our fault. So stop saying sorry. Make sure that you let everybody do what they got to do. Okay. Your surprise for this week is there's a chance to reinvent yourself. So if you want to become Ziggy Stardust, or you want to do that weird thing that Clint Black did where he became a serial killer, I said it. If you want to do something like that, totally embrace it right now. It is a good time to do it. So definitely, Cancers, I want you to stop apologizing for the person you wanted to become. That is really this evolution for all of our Cancers out there. You guys are standing on the threshold of becoming what you've always wanted to be. Don't let other people and their, gapiness, where they're like, what did you do? The pearl clutching and all of that. Don't let that interfere with you. You are on your way. We're moving on over to Leos. Leos, your strength this week is spiritual healing and rest. You guys are so good at napping. It is through spiritual healing and rest that you will yield from the well of creativity. You will get these brighter moments of creative inspiration after periods of resting. You will get that. So weaknesses is trying to stay busy instead of healing. You guys are kind of putting on a show this week, and you want us to know that you don't sleep under the tree with all of your lionesses going out and doing your hunting for you, that you actually go out and do things. Really, the actions, I want you to dig a little deeper spiritually for this week. Because one of the things you're surprised is that a dream may give you some important guidance, and it may say, even though you're this big brave lion on the outside, you may still have that cowardly lion heart on the inside. You still may have some damage on the inside. I want you to start healing that. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to springboard into that. So use this new moon, use the emotions. I know they're uncomfortable. I know you don't like to feel emotions, but instead of roaring and kind of getting it out of your system, let the emotions flow through you, let the fire die down, and feel that watery goodness from the Cancer new moon. So Virgos, strengths, new friendships, community, audience growth. You are going to have people in your workplace that are going to be paying more attention to you, understanding more acutely that you have some great ideas, new alliances in your workplace, new alliances in your life, possibly new romantic relationships. Just take yourself a little bit slower than you ordinarily do. Don't try and control outcomes. That is one of your weaknesses this week. And in these newly forged relationships, I don't want you to decide you are going to be my new life partner and you are going to do it, because that individual may say, hey, I really like being around you, but I don't want to marry you. So that is totally fine. Don't be offended. A collaboration may appear unexpectedly. This is your surprise for the week. And I do feel that all of the developments and the hand-holding and the partnerships are going to come out of work environments. So pay attention to those. Don't try and control the outcomes. Don't get too excited. Don't put the cart before the horse. Libra, you too, your strengths this week, there's career recognition, leadership, and visibility on the table for you. But you don't have to be verbose or really obvious and obtuse about it. You can be a little more quiet, because the work that you've already done is starting to shine in this new moon. Your weaknesses are people pleasing. So again, I want you just to kind of park that inclination and let the work that you've already done, the people pleasing that you did in the past, show up for the future. That's going to happen. Someone influential is going to notice your work. That is the surprise. And it's work that you have done in the past. So you've got some cool surprises coming up. The next opportunity may be from someone who's been eyeballing you a little bit quietly. So cool thing, especially if it's at work. Scorpios, where you at? Drop a Scorpio in the chat if you are one. Your strengths: travel, teaching, publishing, higher learning. Fill your cup, Buttercup. So you may be learning things through travel. You may be going to different places that will take you down a different path. But filling that cup is really important. As Scorpios, you guys can be a little bit arrogant. You think you know everything there is to know about everything. Nobody knows everything there is to know about everything. So just get comfortable with that. One of the most important things I learned before I went to college was, you know nothing. Not like Jon Snow, but you know nothing. You have no experience in this area. So just let people fill that cup. And your weakness is being too suspicious. You guys are suspicious by character and by design. Don't be so suspicious, because you may lose out on having a good mentor, someone who's going to teach you some really, really cool things. Be open to being taught. be open to teaching as well, and kind of relaying that information. Your surprise, a new direction calls your name. And that may be through travel, and it may be through your purpose in life. You may find a different direction wants you to go there. So Sagittarius, one of my favorite cousins is a Sagittarius. Strengths for this week, financial partnerships. You guys are playing with money this whole week. Your money is going in, it's going out, it's going in, it's going out. But the ultimate result is that that money is going to grow. So stick with that. Emotional honesty. If you're sad, admit it. If you're happy, smile. Transformation is at hand. You are going to start to feel the feels, and it's going to show on your face, which is great. Weaknesses, avoid uncomfortable conversations. All right. So I want you to feel the feels, but I don't want you to feel pressure feels. I don't want you to like freak out in those moments. So avoid the uncomfortable conversations until you are more emotionally settled, or really settled in the emotional currents that are going to be going on with the new moon in Cancer. Your surprise for the week, Sag, money owed may be returned. So that money that's going all over the place. If you've done some betting, or you did like a if you're betting on the World Cup or anything like that, check your boxes, check your money, make sure that you're getting paid what you're supposed to get paid. So the Sagittarius, my cousin, she says that she is lucky, lucky, lucky. And indeed she is. She wins everything. She's wild. Capricorn, I am married to Capricorn. Strengths for this week, relationships are going to deepen and business partnerships are strengthening. Those two can be one and the same. You can be kind of bringing those two relationships together and making them work much better. Weaknesses for our Capricorns is that they're emotionally guarded. They always are. They always are right there with their little goat horns ready to butt you out of the way. So I want you to be a little less guarded. You can keep the logic there, Capricorns, be a little less guarded. Let a little love in, let a little light in your heart. So surprises that may be before you, a commitment may become more serious. So if you have a work or personal relationship that maybe you've been on a part-time status, they may be saying, hey, we need to get you in here a little bit more. We'd like to advance you. We'd like to offer you something a little bit different that's got a bit more meat on the bone. And again, that's for personal and work relationships. We could see either of those. Aquarius, strengths for Aquarius. Now, they're an air sign. Everybody always thinks that Aquarius is a water sign, but it's an air sign. With all of this watery goodness that's coming around with the new moon, Aquarius, get into your daily routines. Make sure that you have your checklists in place and your schedule is all set. Your health, your productivity is going to depend on it. You cannot run on the whims of where your hardwired brain goes to. A weakness of yours this week is trying to do too much. And so this is where we get into like this ADHD kind of scatter thinking. It's really, really hard. But the surprise this week is that small habits create huge breakthroughs. Keeping yourself organized is going to be really to your benefit this week. You're going to feel a lot better. Success is not built in one giant leap. It is built on the habits that nobody sees. It's the little things we do every single day. And we've got Pisces. I think we're almost at the end. Pisces, your strengths this week, creativity, romance, joy. So you guys are having a super, super emotional week that could include children, creativity as far as art and visual things. If you can do some art with children, if you're a Pisces and you have children, get in there, teach them how to paint, sculpt, those kinds of things. It's going to be great. The one weakness is don't escape by creation. Use creativity to build and develop. Don't use it to escape into a corner and just kind of get locked in on it. Share this creative energy with others. So take one of those sip and paint classes, or take a ceramics class with someone that you love, or even go and take a cooking class with someone that you love. It's going to really work best if you put a group together. little surprises. Hobbies might become something much bigger. So if you are doing all this fun creating, or maybe you have a child who has an aptitude for art, you may have an instructor who recognizes some really innate talent in either you or one of the partners that you bring. So we're going to close up the astro forecast for this week. And I want you guys to know that this week asks us to remember that not every beginning feels exciting. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we're jumping off the block into the pool and swimming the 400 as fast as we can. Sometimes it feels like a caress to the cheek, gentle forgiveness, or sometimes a new beginning is cleaning the kitchen, getting up and the kitchen is just perfect and wonderful. Sometimes it's calling your mom, crying in the shower, and sometimes it's screaming out the window, I deserve peace. This is what Cancer does. Cancer does all of these crazy things. And with this new moon, we are really seeing some new chapters begin for a lot of people. So I hope that this helps you navigate this wild, wild new moon in Cancer. And I hope that you can latch onto some of the energy and maximize your week. So we will get back to Astro Forecast on Mixtape Monday next week. I just thought we would do it in two separate because I didn't want you to have to watch an hour and a half long video today. So thank you so much, my friends, and I will see you in the future.